Hello, hello, hello. We are back for another Mon Juan Monday here on April 24th. I'm very excited. I know Kyle's excited. I think Gina's excited too, right?
I'm super jazzed.
Been a lot of action going on in this, in this season of the Challenge World Championships. So I am very excited to get into it all. Let's kick this thing off. Here we go. All right, so I am John Dunphy. I am joined, as always, by my ride or dies, Mr. Kyle Petty and Miss Gina Morgino. And I'm very excited to be back here for another week. It's Gina's favorite day of the week because it's Mon Juan Monday. So hopefully Blevins made it in time to see that this time. But maybe I'll play it again later.
You probably will.
Definitely should be like every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes.
No.
I'm down for more Mon Juan Monday.
No.
Mon Juan every 10.
No.
More Mon Juan. More Mon Juan.
But the three of us idiots make up Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. You want to find us on the socials? You can do so at Strat Chat Pod. Or check out our website, www.stratchatpod.com. All right. Episodes 7 and 8 of the Challenge World Championship.
Yeah.
We actually saw 6 people leaving, so 3 teams worth of people, but only 2 teams were actually eliminated. So I'm excited to kind of get into all this stuff. Mm-hmm. I almost feel like I don't even know where to start right now because
there's a lot to take in.
Right, there's just so much. I guess I think to kick things off, get things rolling, it was very cool to me to see KellyAnne and Tristan starting to kind of team up with Ben-Ha and Jody. That's where like the seed was planted to really pull off KellyAnne's big move. These 2 episodes were big for KellyAnne. Between the big move she pulled off, her daily challenge win in episode 8, but it was really nice. I have been loving seeing these players not just bow down to the Bananas of the world and the Tories of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what did you guys think? I feel like I almost want to just get into the deliberation.
Yeah, because that's really where it is. And before we even really get in there, can we just like make a public announcement how happy we are to be bringing back the public deliberations? No more behind closed doors. This was classic challenge. I'm sitting at the table. I'm looking right at you. I'm telling you, I want you out. Like this is what always started off so many great moments in the challenge years ago. And I'm so happy to be back there. And this episode is a shining example of why.
Yeah, no, definitely. It really has always been one of those just not knowing what's going to happen, who's going to say what, who's going to say too much, and it's going to get them in trouble. And then now the whole deliberation goes in a completely different direction than what maybe people came in with, the plans that they had coming in. So it's funny to me because earlier in the episode, also in episode 7, we saw Team USA trying to like sort of huddle up and get on the same page, and begrudgingly, not happy about it, Danny and Sarah seemed like they were going to just play nice. So it was really wild to see because we had Jordan and Kaz come in last in that tunnel time challenge, right? That daily challenge. So they were automatically going in. How did you feel about that?
Sucked. That was so stupid. Now, didn't we speak before about how we don't like how our international champions and vets are now coming in here and really having to do a lot of the heavy lifting? So now we've got the legends just locked up, standing around as we wait for them to do everything. Like they've already done enough to prove themselves. Like some of these people have
very
won.
Frustrating.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous and like not really fun as a viewer to watch.
This could have easily, this could have easily been just decide among your partners who wants to be locked up and who wants to go in the tunnel. Because I even think about
nobody
somebody
be locked up and just do something else.
right,
Find something else to
right.
do.
Because I even think about somebody like Zara, remember Wes's partner, who they chose to have Zara hold the weight and have Wes do the math equations because Zara was dyslexic, she said, and always struggled with numbers and stuff. Like, how would she have done in this competition? You know,
Right? I just had to just whoever did it the fastest even would have been more interesting to me than just locking up the legends and just having them stand there pointless.
Yeah.
Weird. That's all. But okay.
But all right, so this tunnel time did not get your stamp of approval.
Sure
Clearly not.
Time's up.
Wow.
But the important thing from this was that Jordan and Kaz came in last, which meant that a target of Danny and Sarah's all season was finally going into elimination. They didn't even have to worry about trying to vote him in and ruffling any feathers or anything like that. But it was funny once we got to the deliberation itself. KellyAnne is such a queen, but it was funny to me as all the people started, casting their votes for Bananas and Justine. It was funny to me to see that Sarah and Danny finally getting what they want by having a matchup here of potentially having Jordan and Bananas face each other in an elimination, and neither Sarah or Danny even voted for either one of them to go in.
Yeah.
That was really funny to me. I don't know. Well, I almost felt like, because I guess their votes happened before the big mutiny started, right? Before all the votes started being cast. Like, I wonder if they would have changed up their votes and potentially like risked pissing off their partners if they saw the votes going in that direction.
I don't know.
I think that's a lot of what's interesting about how this vote went, because it definitely could have gone differently depending on where around that table it started, so I'd be really curious to get like a still shot and just see where everybody was seated, because this only really happened because by the time we got to Ben and Casey, they're like, no, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't shaking out right. Now, had they voted first, this never would happen. So I find that to be really interesting. I like just a fun thing to point out.
Yeah, no, definitely. Wow. It was just so wild to see too, because Bananas is walking in there probably feeling so comfortable.
Oh, sure.
Like every season, and I've, as much as we've watched Bananas over the years and we've loved, we've loved watching him, it has been kind of nice this season watching him not get his way. I don't know.
It really has been so satisfying. As much as I love him, I was so happy with the way this turned out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There was a point he even made a comment.
I hate it.
In a confessional where he actually said, he was like, I've never hated anyone more than I hate Danny and Sarah.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's like an exaggeration.
That?
But I'm like, dude, this is clearly because they're just not bowing down to you and playing
one
your
person
game.
Doesn't roll over and die for whatever you want them to do one time, and you're gonna throw a hissy fit about it. Like,
yeah. There was even a comment that he made at the end that so I don't want to jump, but just bookmark that sucker. Because there's a comment that he made at the end, and I was like, okay, you know what? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Make way for my new team favorite, Terrell and Kiki.
Terrell and Kiki.
Favorites.
Kiki is awesome.
I love her.
They're great.
Now, keeping in line with the whole, legends being annoyed that, they're just not getting their way throughout the game. So Bananas was one example of that. The fact that KellyAnne led this vote, and I don't know if she would have maybe put in the effort that she did if Tori hadn't approached her to try to get her on board with Team USA to vote their way. And so it was very funny to me because another legend here, Tori, trying to go to KellyAnne, and even in a very like condescending way, it was like, oh, like we can use their votes, but like KellyAnne's just going to be happy that someone actually wants to work with her. Like Tori was making comments like that about KellyAnne. So like to then see KellyAnne turn around and be like, you know what? Not only am I not going to work with you, I'm going to get everybody in the house to take out one of your biggest allies. And it was just, I thought it was so impressive watching her just go to work and line up the votes and getting everybody on board, and everybody went along with the plan and it happened. It was just beautiful to watch.
It was wonderful. Just wonderful. Yeah. Anything that works against Tori at this point really works
I'm
for me.
so sick of her, man.
So sick of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deal or no deal? No deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
I really
wow.
am. I'm so done with her, and I can't wait till we get to the next
yeah.
episode 2, because that was one of the most ridiculous deliberations I've ever
That was
seen.
nuts. Yeah.
But so let's just, I guess, wrap this up, this episode, right? Because I feel like there's more juice, there's more meat in the next episode,
More
in episode
meat and
8.
Potatoes. More hearty.
Yeah. So the 2 teams at the end of deliberation that end up getting voted in are Bananas and Justine, or I don't know if you liked either the pet names that Johnny came up with, the Just Nanas or Bustine.
I didn't like Bustine either.
No.
I
didn't like that.
No.
Justine didn't like that either.
I did like Just Nanas.
Just Nanas, I was on board.
Yeah. But so yes, it was Just Nanas as one of the teams going into elimination, possibly, or Theo and Sarah, which basically guaranteed that Just Nanas was going to be going into elimination, because Emily and Yes had won the daily challenge, and Emily and Sarah have been tight all season.
Yeah.
So pretty much right away you knew, all right, we're going to get a Jordan and Bananas showdown here, which, I mean, as much as like we've complained about like some of Bananas, his antics on this season, like that's still a great showdown to watch. So,
absolutely.
What did you think of this elimination though? This was the
Those are the symbols, right?
The barrels,
the barrels,
puzzle, yeah. Lock, stack, and barrel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically had like each team's flag, that they had to assemble in the correct order, paying very close attention to detail.
Very close.
Did you like this?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I guess, I enjoyed watching it, but I think there's a part of me that's also like, some of these challenges aren't as fun as I think they are. We're so used to seeing all those other challenges that we saw on USA, UK, Australia,
and over
38,
again.
that I'm like, anything that's new now, I'm like, this is amazing.
Right. No, it was fun. It was fun. Like, it's a typical challenge fair, I felt.
Yeah. It's a puzzle, but there's some physicality involved. So it's, two-dimensional. But so at the end of this, Bananas and Bustine, they lose and are eliminated from the game. And paying, as we saw, paying very close attention to detail was important, because the one thing that tripped up Johnny and Justine was that moon and the difference in the face. One had sort of like a frown, and one had more of like a smile. I have to ask you guys though, so congratulations, by the way, Kaz and Jordan. They win, they stay in the house, they stay in the game. What did you think of Johnny's comments after this elimination? And is this Kyle what you wanted to bring up?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Disgusting. He's like, you guys knew. He's like, you guys fucking knew. It's like, yeah, we did know, fool. You playing a game and you lost. Like, nobody owes you anything. I was so annoyed. I said, oh yeah.
Well, because we've seen how many times that people are like giving them the answers while they're playing these games. We see it happen all the freaking time, and I can't stand when they do it.
To happen, but how dare you expect it and then get annoyed? Even if you expect it, how dare you get so annoyed that it didn't happen that you now scold people, just shouting back to them like it's their fault you lost? Oh, please. Right. Boo.
Yeah. Like you're saying that like you're upset with me because I didn't help you cheat. Right. Is what you're saying.
Hit the bike. Get out of here.
There were more people yelling, it looked like, for Jordan and Kaz from what I saw. And you know what, Johnny? Maybe this is an opportunity for you to look inward. Why weren't more people helping you?
You're so stupid. So stupid.
Yeah, I know. I'm very dumb.
Johnny's thoughts. Jerry Springer, the way he used to end his episodes, like Jerry's final thoughts. To summarize, take this time out of the game to look inward.
Yeah.
Think about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Could you have made better choices? Only you can answer that question. Only you.
Oh God. Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Anyway.
But yeah, congratulations, Jordan and Kaz. I got to tell you, I really like Kaz.
I like Kaz too. Yep.
And she is gorgeous.
Smoking
My
hot.
goodness.
Hell
My
yeah.
goodness. But she's also just like a beast. And
she's got it all.
Yeah. And leading into episode 8, she really helped out Tristan here. We had some players in the house dealing with illness. Tristan being one of them, on the brink of leaving this game. And it was Kaz's pep talk that kept him staying in the game, fighting, trying to keep going. So this whole thing was weird, by the way. Let's just get this illness thing out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Tristan sick, Ben sick, Amber sick, seemingly all having similar symptoms, nauseous and everything, but to varying degrees. Now, for Ben, my goodness, what happened to this guy?
Caught it off. I don't know. Do you think it was like food poisoning of some kind? I thought it was a little lame that they didn't tell us.
Well, my whole thing, like, they didn't tell us exactly. Are we totally taking COVID off the table here?
No.
Like, I don't know. It just, like, it felt a little suspicious that, like, all of a sudden there's this illness that, like, everybody is getting. It's taking people out, and, like, no one is talking about what it is. Like, I don't know. It felt kind of shady to me.
I don't know. I feel like that Verve account would have told us.
I feel like as you're watching,
I mean, like we've seen them in other seasons try to cover it up. Like, no one got COVID. It's fine. We just like added these people to the game late, like for fun. Like we've seen it happen before. It's not unlike them to just like sweep that under the rug and be like, you know,
right?
The Casey and Kenny thing in 38 was so weird. But
they made this such a focal point, you know.
Yeah, they really were focusing on this, and it was interesting because obviously, I honestly would have thought that the medics would have just checked out Tristan and Amber while they were there. Like they came, they got Ben. Obviously, he had the most serious case of whatever this illness is. But like, if it's serious enough that he needs to come out of the hospital, come out of the house, go into the hospital, and now he's disqualified from the game medically, like. Don't you think you should check out the 2 other people that are having
to make sure they don't have the same thing? Like, what the hell?
Unless they did, they just didn't tell us? Question mark?
Very possible. Very possible.
Because it looks like Tristan is still not good.
Right. I mean, but like it was wild to see. Like he was at the point where like he was saying he couldn't even get out of bed, wanted to quit the game. I felt like, I don't know, like with the way that Tristan seemed, it almost felt like it was like, all right. If the medics took Ben and and Tristan is feeling so bad that he can't get out of bed, he wants to quit the game. Like maybe they should be keeping a closer eye on him. I don't know. I don't know. And like I'm grateful that he didn't quit. I'm grateful to Kaz for her pep talk that kept him, in it. But it's just interesting that like you just had someone leave for the hospital, and now a pep talk gets this person through it, and they're just going to continue. I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah.
And then we find out that Amber, it seems it was a totally unrelated thing to whatever Ben and Tristan have been dealing with, because Amber is pregnant, which we knew. But I was
going to say, yeah.
I did call this. I had noticed that Amber was complaining about nausea and all that throughout the season, and we were trying to figure it out on the timeline, like when would she have gotten pregnant based on the announcements she's made on social media and everything, and it turns out that was the case. But okay, so let's get into.
I thought this was a weird, like 10 or 15 minutes of the episode, though. I was like, I don't know, people are sick, they're leaving, now she's pregnant. It's like, what's going on? It's like it just all like happened like in a real blast. It's like, okay, now moving on. Like I don't know, the whole thing was weird.
Right. It's like, all right, everybody, shut up now. We have trivia.
Exactly. Yeah. All these things happened. Moving on. Like I don't know, it just felt strange, very rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I agree. So I guess we can kind of move into like the daily challenge now. This was this this was that what was this one called? Oh, Ripcord Roulette, which was trivia. But all the illness thing that was going on kind of affected how the teams would play out going into this competition. So we had Ben go to the hospital. We're told that he's medically disqualified. TJ begins to tell us that this means that Casey also has to leave before he's interrupted by Amber's announcement that she is not well, has to leave the game. And TJ seemed a little pissed. I'm sure now that he knows that she was pregnant at the time, he's probably like, okay. But like she was like, listen, I'm not well. I have to listen to my body. Like, can I switch places with Casey? Troy can be her partner, and then they can both stay in the game. But he was kind of just like, well, I see two people that really want to be here. All right, Amber, take care of yourself. It was like, I don't know, it felt a little harsh for the situation.
I took that the complete opposite.
I did too, actually.
Yeah, I felt like this. Everyone knew this is exactly what was going to happen, and everybody just had to stand in their spots and say their lines so that we can get there. Like Casey knew she wasn't going home because Casey knew that Amber was going to say this, and then he's like, "Well,
I didn't think that.
I thought this is just what they wrote up real quick on a post-it and said, okay, let's just do this so we can get through this one and move on because we got trivia."
Yeah. I just felt like if they knew what was going on, that like Amber took a pregnancy test, she's pregnant, she's been dealing with nausea and stuff like that, so she's gonna leave.
Well, I don't think she knew I don't think she knew she was pregnant at that point yet.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when it all happened because it was by the before she left. She had taken 2 pregnancy tests and shown them to Troy in a confessional. So I don't know.
But if I'm correct, I think that confessional happened like after the fact.
Yeah, and it could have. I don't know what the timeline is, but and also she obviously took those tests before the confessional, so maybe she went into the competition already knowing that she was pregnant, but hadn't told anybody yet. I don't know.
Which I saw the socials blowing up, and I'm sure you guys did too, like Twitter, everything, of people being like, after what Amber just did, I better not see Casey out here saying one word about her in future seasons, because Casey is one of those people that no matter what Amber does, Amber's shady, Amber sucks, we can't trust Amber, Amber's a snake, constantly has Amber's name in her mouth, and everybody was like, I swear to God, after what Amber just did, if Casey says one word about her in any other season after this goes down.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what? You're right, Kyle.
Oh, please.
Smon Wan Monday. Just to
We're
make sure
talking.
just to make sure everyone remembers what day it is. So but
nice
what did you
conversation.
think? Yeah, it is a very nice conversation, which is all the more reason to remind everybody it's Mon Wan Monday.
Oh my God.
So how did you feel though about this whole Casey and Troy?
I don't really like this. I didn't like it.
Right. I felt like the whole first episode was an entire competition to decide the draft order that people got to choose their partners in and things like that. And now, just because of these random circumstances that have played out over the course of the season, this other team just gets to form, and they're a strong team.
They are, but I mean, I guess the other side to that too is that you can't lose that many people, right? It is gonna start to affect the game.
I certainly wouldn't have wanted to lose. I like Troy a lot. I wouldn't have wanted.
Yeah,
to lose
I like Troy a lot too, and that's why. Yeah, you excuse it because you like who is involved, but if these are 2 people I didn't like, then I wouldn't like it. So I feel like I shouldn't be supporting it completely. But all right, it works out for us. It does.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's funny because like I totally agree. Like I'm sure that they feel like we don't want to lose too many people, but it's also interesting because we still lost 2 people in this episode, and then they still had an elimination that sent another team home.
Right.
So it's like you could have lost 2 people and then still stayed on schedule of losing 1 team every episode by just canceling the elimination or whatever. But I guess that happened last week with Grant too. Maybe they feel like we can't just be skipping eliminations
dropping
every
like flies.
Yeah.
But all right. Yeah.
So Kyle, were you excited to see trivia back?
No. Although I did like the twist on this. Like this ripcord thing was fun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That was a good watch. I enjoyed the way that this played out. But these questions are whack, man. Like, come
they were
on.
Bad questions.
This is not real
bad
trivia.
Questions.
Like, I can go to the bar and hear harder questions than this.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
E equals MC what?
When that was I said, you have got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The one I will point out though, the badminton one. Do you think I would have gotten points? I would call them a birdie. I know they're also called a shuttlecock, but like a birdie.
I have heard that also. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So points for birdie. I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one who called it that.
I don't know that he would have given you points, but that's definitely also a name for it.
I know.
Giving you points.
I'll have to. We'll DM TJ.
Yeah. I have to say though, I do want to give some props to Darrell. We've seen him. He has a very hard time with heights. We've seen him in some of these competitions literally just say, I'm not doing it, getting disqualified, and then ending up going to elimination. And there are times that it's cost him a season and he's gone home. So I think that just happened recently, right? Is that 38 probably? So the fact that he actually did it, this time, competed, and they did pretty well, him and Kiki. So I was happy for Darrell. Yeah. Happy for Darrell. I don't know why it just made me really laugh that Yes got his math question wrong, because I feel like he was so like keyed in on the math in the tunnel time competition. So he had that question of like how many seconds are in a minute, and he did 60 times 6 and said 360, and TJ said no, it's 3,600. So I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just really enjoyed Yes getting that question wrong. I don't know why.
I was like 360. I was like, that can't be.
Yeah. But of course, like me being who I am as a person, I was like, oh, am I an idiot? I wouldn't. Okay, wow. Okay, I guess so. Like assumed that like he couldn't possibly have gotten it wrong.
It must be me.
Oh wow.
Poor Jody and Benha though.
Oh, I know.
Like, what are the odds?
I know. Didn't get to answer a single question.
No, God,
that was really
horrible.
Sad. I know.
It's almost like, is this on purpose? Like, how would this be?
And it was like just when things were starting to like
turn around,
look up for them a little bit.
Yep.
They had new people to work with, and then the curse of the ripcord, took them out.
Poor Jody was like, I've been studying my trivia. We heard nary a word.
Yeah, not a single question. Sorry, Jody.
Damn.
Oh man, sorry, Jody. But on the other side of that, obviously Benha and Jody come in last, go straight to elimination. But dealing with his illness, Tristan, he did pretty well. He answered some good questions in there, and Tristan and KellyAnne took the daily challenge win.
This is nice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, right? KellyAnne pulls off a huge move in episode 7. Gets Bananas sent home. Episode 8, she's the daily challenge winner, has all the power, has safety. This is a big couple of episodes for
she's on the come up.
Oh, yeah.
It's KellyAnne show.
All right. Now, this is the deliberation that I'm really excited to talk about because it was
God,
so dumb.
So stupid.
Why? Okay, listen. Tori and Danny have been at odds all season. We've watched it, but Tori, like her whole reasoning of like, listen, like I would vote for Danny and Danny would vote for me, so we're just gonna give a vote to ourselves. So we're gonna vote ourselves in, and then another team. And I'm like, if you don't agree, then how about one of you just picks one team that you want to vote for?
This is what we said last time. Like, I don't understand how that's not the take.
Like, why are you voting for yourself? Because you're so dead set against voting for Casey, which honestly, this was a reasonable thing. Casey was about to be out of the game, gets a new life in the game. It's a brand new team. It's perfectly good reasoning. Just vote in the new team. They're brand new. Like, it's a totally fair thing.
Well,
Jordan did it.
I saw some discourse on that too, because people were like, I saw a couple of people on Twitter being like, this is why I hate this new thing that the challenge is doing of like, do the winners want to give money to the other finalists? I don't know, maybe because you see these people giving money to their friends who are also in the finals if they win, and now you don't want to vote them in because Casey and Casey and CT won all that money, gave some to each of the finalists, one of which was Tori. So no, you're not going to put Casey in if she just gave you all this money. It's like you're bribing people for future games. And I saw a lot of discourse on that.
It still just doesn't make any sense, though, because it's like, okay, then just vote in a different team. Why are you voting for yourselves? Because
correct. I'm just speaking to like her being completely unwilling to vote certain people in at all.
Right.
Well, see, because the thing is, like, it's like it literally almost got them sent in. Who was the one team that had the 4? There was one team that had 4 votes, right? I wish I could remember who it was now. Crap, I don't remember who it was, but there was one team that got 4 votes. They were being sent in. Then they had to re-vote for the other teams because there were 3 teams that were voted for that got 3 votes each, meaning that Tori and Danny were one of the teams that was just 1 vote shy of being sent in.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, like they voted for themselves. Like, what are you?
It's ridiculous.
You're almost getting yourself sent into elimination by voting for yourself because you don't want to vote for your friend. And then like the whole thing of like, oh, Sarah, who it's so funny because we have not liked Sarah in the past, and this season we are liking her more.
Did a total 180.
Love her.
I had to write down the quote because it was so good. So Tori's just still refusing to vote for Casey. And she like turned to Jordan for help, and Jordan's like, "Look what I just did!
Like,
I did the same thing that you don't want to do. I did it. I voted in my friend because that's the smart thing to do right now for my game." Like, and Sarah made a comment at Tori saying, "It's a shit situation, but this is the game that you have continued to sign up to play." It's like, Tori, this isn't your first rodeo. Like, what are you doing? Like,
seriously.
And I'm so tired of her like complaining about, I don't want to vote my friend in. I hate being in this situation. It's like there's not a single person at that table that is like thrilled to be saying anybody's name right now.
That's literally the game. That's the game. That's the game.
No, but see, here's the thing though. Has it always been for Tori? Because she's been a lot of the newer versions of this challenge where we're not really doing this publicly. Everything's been shady. You're kind of just hitting a little thing on the screen. Like people aren't really like voting so publicly. Like this is a little bit new for her. Uncharted territory, and she's not taking it so well. All right. This is old school challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'd like to go back and look at some of the other
so would I.
See some of the other seasons that Tori played and how the voting went. So oh boy, it really is. I just, and I used to love Tori and I cannot stand her.
Really
lately.
tired of her.
Yeah, I'm so tired of her. She seems so entitled. Literally throwing her own team under the bus to try to get out of voting for a friend. Like, I gotta tell you, like, it's just
literally throwing a tantrum.
Yeah, literally throwing a tantrum at the table in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm. She also, like, in the previous episode had a moment too that I was like, Tori, just shut up, because she had like a confessional during the elimination, and you see her like cheering on Jordan or whatever, and she was like, no matter what happens, there will never be a time that I am not rooting for Jordan. I just cheer for, I just can't help it. Every part of my being just last season, you were literally ready to like skin him alive. Like you guys were trying to kill each other. Why are you giving me this bullshit narrative that like, oh, I just love Jordan so much. I would never be against him. You literally did nothing but butt heads with him for an entire season that I had to watch against my will. Everything that I know about Jordan and Tori has happened against my will. I don't care. Why am I still hearing about it?
Yeah. We'll never not hear about it. They're always going to be on
together.
Tired.
I'm so tired.
Listen, I've gone in opposite directions with both of them. Like, I really liked Tori in the beginning, and now, like, really just honestly can't stand her. And then Jordan, I like hated in the beginning, and have started to really like him more and more. And I would love a season with neither of them on it. But if one of them has to be on it, I would absolutely, in a heartbeat, take a season with Jordan over a season with Tori. So, yeah. Kyler bringing up Cara Maria. Wow. Who will be making a return, right? In the next All-Stars, right?
Yes, she is. But this is an interesting take. And I got to say, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with this. Which actually, as a quick aside, it does make me very interested to see how Cara Maria handles herself in this All-Stars environment. because it's all the same players. It's really just the challenge later that same day. So so since she's been removed from it for a little while, I'm really tickled to see how that's gonna go.
Yeah, I am interested. I am definitely interested to see. She is one of the more like intriguing things about that season to me than anything else.
Oh yeah.
Just because she's been out of the game it feels like she's been gone for so long.
She has. So I'm super jazzed about it. And as a further aside, Paulie on Challenge USA 2, we didn't really discuss that. That's what the Twitter said. Yeah, welcome
I have
back.
seen that.
Welcome back home, if this is so. Also pretty tickled about that. So lots of good stuff coming. And all not main stage challenge, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we could drop that. If we had to sit through another 38, I'm good.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
all
not
right.
done. Sorry. So many.
No. Don't be sorry. All right. So at the end of this deliberation, we end up with, I just realized the other team that had gotten the 4 votes was Darrell and Kiki. So they were voted in. And then once the revote was done, Casey and Troy were also heading into elimination.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really surprised, right? By this, Tristan and KellyAnne chose Casey and Troy to face off against Benha and Jody. And Spin Me Round, which was a kind of another puzzle elimination. What'd you think of this? Did you like this this elimination?
I did like this one. Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah. I thought it was funny.
She didn't like it.
Oh no, I got distracted by something.
Gina hated it. I thought it was funny. Somebody was making a comment about Benha. Like, he's a really great communicator, but he just takes a really long time to communicate.
Yeah. He's just another one. Yeah, he's got a great attitude. Like, I really, well, I mean, not to jump ahead, but like, I really want to see him back.
Me too.
All of the Argentinians seem to have a really great attitude.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because some of them left so early. We didn't really get to know them. But him especially, I mean, his back was against the wall this entire game. And there was a frustration that was always in Jody's face, right? Like, you could tell she did not like her place in this game from the very, very beginning. But he just took it in stride and was very positive. It's always smiling. Just really liked him.
Yeah. And we've seen how other people can like implode in games like this when all their people get taken out and stuff. And this was not, Team Argentina came in. Yeah, it felt like they were just dropping like flies in these eliminations and stuff. And then so for him to be left there, and it's not just like, oh, my alliance got broken up and now I'm the only one left and I have to scrape and claw to stay in the game. It's like, oh, my whole alliance is gone, but like also those are all my countrymen. Like, those are my people, and the fact that he just kind of stayed in the game, kept working hard, kept trying, kept, like you said, Kyle, always kept like a positive attitude. Like, I really liked Benha a lot. So it was definitely sad to see them lose. But yeah, Benha and Jody eliminated, and Team Argentina is officially out of the game completely.
Goodbye, Argentina. Don't cry for us.
Oh, this is an interesting comment there from Kyler too.
Oops.
Danny said that Jody forgot her context. She couldn't be the one reading because she couldn't see that far. Very interesting. Because we did see her also. It seemed like she was struggling a little bit with
colors.
Well, the colors and but the weight also of like spinning Benha.
Yeah.
And people, like some of the like spectators, the other challengers that were watching, even commented that like every time, was it Casey that did? I forget who was on the board, but they were mentioning how like Casey was on there, and like each time Troy was like lowering her very slowly. So, but like Jody would lift it, and then as soon as she was dropping it, it was just
like,
and then he would just like sit there hanging, like swinging.
But he just accepted it.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm having a great time. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's such a good sport.
God.
Yeah.
Oh man. Wow. But yeah, So that's pretty much what happened over the course of these 2 episodes. We lost Benha and Jody in an elimination. We lost Bananas and Justine in elimination, and we sadly lost Amber and Ben for medical reasons. So 6 people gone in the course of the last 2 episodes.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope Tristan, whatever is ailing him, I hope he gets over it, because I like him and KellyAnne, and I don't want that to become like the next, like the thing that just they're in for a couple more episodes or something, but he's still sick and he can't continue,
Right.
and then that's how it ends or something. I hope he gets over it, and then they like still can have a good rest of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
because they're also just working well together. It's not
Yeah.
just KellyAnne's moves. Like, they seem to complement each other well.
I think so.
Yeah, I like them as a team. They've been exciting to watch. I do want to focus some more on Darrell and Kiki and just how much I love them. Because I just think that Darrell is just such an awesome partner. And I think it's just so fun because we had enjoyed Kiki so much in Australia when we watched, the challenge over there.
Yeah.
And I just think it's very enjoyable to see her getting on so well with somebody that we've known for so long, like over here. Yeah, it's just really fun to watch.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I've really, especially like the last couple of episodes, they won a daily challenge together. Like they just have a great dynamic. I love the way they work together. I love how Darrell is just so like, I'm Team Australia. Hell yeah.
Yeah, totally like into her. And that moment he was like, oh, my girl Kiki said that we can't trust Emily. Now I see what she's talking about. Girl, yeah, I'm with you. Fuck Emily. I was like, this is great. Like really, really fun. Speaking of which, I was a really, really big fan of Emily back when we watched Australia. I'm not so much anymore. How do you feel now? How do you feel?
I agree. I don't know why. There's something. She's like, I don't know.
Do you think it could be some of just being bitter over how the Challenge Australia ended, right? Because I feel like we kind of got that. Like there's been some comments made about that, like especially when Grant was still in, that Emily and Grant sort of had it out for, Kiki and Troy because they won the Challenge Australia, and like so they feel like this rivalry with them. So like they were never really all that willing to work with them to begin with, like even if they had to pretend to be like Australia strong for some portion of the game. And I feel like Emily has sort of carried some of that animosity into this game with her.
Yeah.
And I think that might be part of the reason why.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I guess so. I guess. It just annoys me because it just seems like, I can understand that, but like it's a little too early for all this, because she came in with such an attitude. It was like her and Grant that acted like, they were just running things, and Kiki was just supposed to just listen to everything that they said. And it's like, and Troy too. And it's like, I felt it more with Kiki for some reason, but like Troy is definitely lumped in with that as well. Like they definitely acted as if, Grant and Emily now, they definitely acted as if like they were running this alliance. And it's like, based on what? Like y'all didn't even win. And it's like, so like you can have an attitude maybe, but I don't know what puts you in an alpha position here. I don't know. Really, and I was never a Grant fan,
Right.
Yeah.
And I agree. I do agree with you. Like I liked Emily more in the Challenge Australia compared to now in the Challenge World Championship, but I do remember things getting pretty heated in the Challenge Australia house. Do you remember in particular, there was one night they had like this party outside the house?
Yeah, that barbecue thing.
Right. And Emily she had no problem being very vocal about how she didn't like how, like certain things were going with the whole Batchy alliance and things like that. And Emily, like she was one of the last people still there in the game at that point, like with her alliance, and was just being very loud about like, well, this is what I'm going to do. And I don't care if anybody hears what I'm saying and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, she clearly took a lot of what happened in the Challenge Australia, like to heart. Maybe took it very personally. Maybe that's why she kind of felt like she had to come into this like guns blazing. But yeah, I miss the Emily of the Challenge Australia.
But yeah, just a fun aside.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else? Because we were talking about KellyAnne and Tristan. something else that's impressive, especially with Tristan dealing with this illness or whatever. They've actually won 2 out of the last 3 daily challenges.
Who? Kelly and Tristan?
Yeah. So they really are. They're the only team at this point that has won 2 daily challenges.
I hope they tell us what this illness is. I don't want to just keep referring to it as an illness and this illness. Like, I think, give us an answer. All right.
But I feel like if they would, it would have been now because they just ejected somebody,
Yeah, unless it's also because like the ejections aren't complete.
Maybe.
And now it's like, the rancid meat that went through the house because somebody cooked somebody dinner and everybody got whatever this was. Like this is somebody's bad tacos.
Maybe Ben and
all the way through.
Maybe Ben and Tristan accidentally ate a meal that Emily had prepared for Kiki.
Uh-oh. You heard it here first.
Sabotage.
Rumors.
Yeah, that is some very irresponsible speculation on this.
Yes.
What is
it?
Sman Wan Monday.
Excellent.
I'm
so happy. Oh, and Cynthia gets to be a part of it. She's newly single, I read. Cynthia Bailey.
Who's that?
Cynthia Bailey.
Oh, really?
The one in the picture you just...
I just didn't hear the name he said before.
Yeah, I hear she's newly single. That's all I know. And she's ready to mingle.
Right.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. You know what? Also, since we've been talking about the illnesses getting people out of the game, I know I hate calling it an illness too.
I know. That word.
I feel like I've said that word so many times tonight, but it also has made me think more about how like I'm dying for a season here that doesn't have pairs, like partners. I'm so tired of somebody else getting hurt or getting sick or getting disqualified for any other reason. And then their partner also has to leave the game. Like it's very annoying to me.
Give us the free agents too.
Yeah. Give us something. Like
somewhere we had a 2, they give us a 3. Just give me another free agent.
Right. Like,
yeah.
I'm dying for like an individual game or even a team game where it's like, all right, this team, they lost one person, but we still don't have to like dismantle the whole team now. Like, I don't know. I'm just tired of the pairs and I want something different. Yeah.
But, yeah. I agree. I'm growing weary of this. Although I think this is the last version of pairs that I could possibly find interesting. I will give it that. If you were going to give me pairs, I do think this was a fun way to mix it up. I like that we have the legends not like really like representing or reflecting themselves. You're being kind of forced to get into the politics of the countries. I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But I think that's the final bit of interesting you can do with pairs now. Unless you're going to do like the challenge House of Love. And then like Jordan and Tori together.
I would have to tap out. I'm not covering it. I'm not doing it. You're on your own.
And then we'll get Theo and Kaz.
That would be it for me.
Ollie and Cara Maria. That could be worth it.
We
can force Bananas and what's a face together.
Mariah?
No.
Girl Mariah?
No, what the fuck is her name?
Queen Mariah.
They Morgan. No, let's get Morgan.
Good.
Morgan from BVOTT.
Wow.
Wait, why?
They were.
Oh, just cause. Oh wait. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
yeah, they were together.
And Morgan were together for some time.
Yeah.
She is the whole reason why there was like a pink version of a lot of his merch, and she would model it. Yeah. I think that's far more interesting, just because I'm more familiar with Morgan. Who else? Like Mariah, get out of here.
I love Mariah. Amber and Chauncey.
Well, she got the baby. I mean, she's welcome if mom's free.
Maybe a couple years down the road, or
stay with grandma.
Tori and Jordan.
Oh, Tori and Jordan are a must.
No.
Who hasn't Nisa dated? How do we get Mama and Nisa back?
I don't know. What about Wes and KellyAnne?
Oh, that'd be fun,
right?
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's get Leroy and Cam. One last go.
Oh, yo, if we could get them to come back.
One last go.
Oh,
That'd be fun.
That would really, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they hate each other. What about Brad and what's her face?
Oh God.
What the hell was her name? I can picture her face. Tori. Her name is Tori.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even think they make it to the first episode. I think she'd walk.
Oh man. It's
yeah.
it is funny too, by the way, like because we have Tori and Jordan on this season and we're so tired of them and their drama. Whereas obviously we haven't seen anywhere near as much of these people, but like it's just funny to see like in these episodes like Theo and Kaz sit down and like talk about things like adults. Knowing how like all this Tori and Jordan drama has played out over the years, but
that's not how we go in America. Let's get Zach and Jenna. Let's get Zach and Jenna. What are they doing?
My God.
What do you think they're doing?
Zach. I don't know if I want to see Zach ever again. Guy's a mess.
Yeah, he is. There's a lot of fun people. And I wouldn't mind seeing Casey play with Nani.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sure they would love that too. It'd be
What
able
a
to work
mess.
together.
What a mess. I have been on the I want new people train for so long, and I just named the biggest fraternity cast.
Not that all these people would come back. They're just like examples of what you could do. Because then you could also bring in new blood by having people that were on some of these other, dating type reality TV shows. Bring
Fessy and Haley
from Love Island and all that. Fessy and Haley.
Fessy would have to have a new partner every episode.
Also fun.
Yeah.
The Fessy, what can we call it? Fessy fix up. And then somebody draws a card and it's like, oh, whoever has the X, you're with Fessy. That week. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's all I got.
I think that's it. I think that's all I got.
Yeah.
Wow. It's honestly just wild that Bananas is gone, though.
I'm glad.
I'm more upset that we lost Justine than I am that we lost Bananas because I actually really like Justine, but
yes, Kyler, Anissa, and Veronica. Now that would be interesting.
Wow.
And it's a toss-up how that would even go.
I think we got something here,
Yeah, I think we do.
Someone's going to make a call.
The challenge, House of Love.
Yeah. TJ, excuse me.
I said no more pairs, no returnees.
Except this one all-pair, all-returnee season.
Yeah. And it's all just like couples that have so much baggage.
Yes. No one should work.
You said no pairs, you said no returnees, and you said no more Tori and Jordan. And you just threw it all out the window.
Yeah. And now they're in a season playing together on the same team.
Themed around their failure. Excellent.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Oh,
just make sure it's on Paramount Plus because I don't want the curses bleeped.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I totally agree.
Full curse.
Full curses. Yeah. But all right. Anybody else have anything at all for the benefit of the community?
No. What else are we doing this week?
Oh, well, we got some good stuff going on this week. We're talking some more BB Can, Big Brother Canada, season 11. That'll be Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm excited for a new week. It strangely feels like we haven't had Big Brother. Feels like a while.
I know. It feels like it's been a really long time. Yeah.
Right? But yeah, so that'll be this Thursday, 9:30 p.m. We'll be discussing all the action from this week of Big Brother Canada. And then next Monday, we'll be talking Survivor 44 at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. And that's what we have coming up on the horizon.
I'm not going to be absent now. Not going to be absent.
Oh,
right. That's right.
The move is canceled. All right. Life is falling apart, but I will be present. Silly.
Well, not. No. Don't want your life to fall apart, but happy you will be present.
Everything's fine.
But all right. I think that's all I got. So, if you guys want to check us out on the socials, you can do so at Strat Chat Pod. Check us out on all the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Check out our website, www.stratchatpod.com. All right, everybody. See ya.